Do you know this confusing moment when everything is going great in your relationship and then, out of the blue, your partner says that he lost feelings? And it can happen really even overnight. So, yesterday everything was okay, and today they tell you that they don't feel it anymore. And you have to know that this situation is really common when you are in a relationship with an avoidant partner. And that's why in this video, we're going to discuss why it happens and what you can do about it. My name is Luna A. May, and I'm a life and attachment style coach and author of books on attachment styles. What attachment style are you? And understanding and overcoming anxious attachment. And my mission here is to help you understand your emotional patterns and help you build healthy, secure relationships that you truly deserve. So, the first point is that avoidants don't fall out of love like normal people, because most of the people fall out of love gradually. For the avoidant, it can really happen overnight. And why is that? It is connected with their childhood experiences, because in their childhood they have experienced a lot of emotional neglect. So they might have been criticized by their parents where they were showing emotions. They were told that they were too much, that they have to keep it up. So that they learned that vulnerability is dangerous, that showing emotions is dangerous, and that they have to keep everything to themselves and be independent. And that's what they bring to the adult relationships. So when they are in their relationships, at the beginning we have this honeymoon phase, the phase that is run by a hormone called dopamine. And thanks to dopamine, we are feeling all this excitement, these butterflies. We don't need to sleep so much. We are so excited. And this is a phase in which the avoidant feels the best, because they have this feeling that they finally found the one, because they really crave connection. Even though they are afraid of feelings, they really have feelings and they would love to have a real connection with someone. It's just that they are afraid of this vulnerability. So in the beginning phase, there is not so much of vulnerability yet. There is not so much of this deep connection yet. So for them, that's the best phase. They are taking what's the best, all this excitement, butterflies, but they don't have to share as much yet. So that's why when it finishes, when this honeymoon finishes, and this honeymoon phase can last from a couple of months to even 1.5 years, and then we are moving to another stage of a relationship that is much more mature. And the next stage of the relationship is driven by the hormone responsible for bonding that is called oxytocin. And in the second part of a relationship, the second phase of relationship, we are sharing more our vulnerabilities and we are talking more about feelings. We are opening up more. And this is what causes fear in avoidance. They are afraid to show emotions, but they are also afraid to show how they are, because they are afraid that when you will discover the real them, you will leave them, because they have this core wound of shame that they are not enough, and they fear being abandoned because of who they are. So what might happen in this moment is that they will start looking for your faults, things that you are not doing good, things that they don't like in your behavior, in what you are saying, because for them, they don't want to self-reflect. They don't want to take accountability for their emotions. So instead of that, they are trying to find something in you, to put the blame for how they are feeling, for the fact that they don't feeling this excitement anymore, and that they are fearing this fear of opening up. And when the fear reaches a higher point, they think that this is the end of the relationship, that they don't have any feelings anymore, and they will keep pursuing another relationship that will give them this dopamine hit again. And this cycle will continue, because each time, at some point, this dopamine phase, this honeymoon phase finishes, and they will look for another partner. But now you could ask me, why does it happen that sometimes avoidants stay in a long-lasting relationships? And yes, it can happen. And most of the time, it is because they were in a relationship with another avoidant partner, or it was some kind of toxic relationship. In any way, it was a relationship where there was no emotional intimacy. And for them, it felt safe. For them, it was okay to stay longer in such situation. But when they are in a relationship with a secure or anxious partner that is expecting emotional vulnerability, emotional openness, this is where the fear kicks in because they are not ready to open up. They are not ready to be vulnerable. So, is a relationship in an avoidant possible? Are they capable of changing? Yes, of course they are capable of changing. But first of all, they would have to be open to communication. Because if they were open to communication, they could communicate their fears at the very beginning of this stage, and you could talk through the problems. But it doesn't happen with avoidance because they are afraid of communication and because they are afraid of opening up. But if they work with a coach, if they work with a therapist, they can absolutely break this pattern because avoidant, you don't have to stay avoidant all your life. You can heal and you can change and build a secure relationship. So one last message to you is that don't blame yourself if your relationship with an avoidant didn't work out. It's not your fault. You were not too much. You were not expecting too much. It's just that they were never ready to give you as much as you need. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been in this situation, and I encourage you to check my other videos on attachment style, and see you in the next one.